Ano, nakasagot na yung camera? Yung
Ready na.
ayos.
Ready na.
Ba sila lahat?
Yes, okay lang.
Imagine a giant puzzle with pieces scattered across the globe, each representing a pressing world problem. Can we solve it by simply putting the pieces together? Or is there a deeper, more complex solution? Welcome to The Life Puzzle, where we explore the intricate challenges facing our world and unravel the mysteries of everyday life, one story at a time. For those who haven't seen it, Crisis ng Sikmura delved into the alarming issue of hunger in the Philippines. It wasn't just a report on statistics, but a deeply personal and moving exploration of the human cost of this crisis. On the other hand, the ongoing issue of global warming, where it says that the 3% increase in global warming is undoubtedly fearful. Joining me today to unpack this impactful series special are Matt Evans and Leia Villabeto, who have been closely following the issue of hunger. Welcome, Matt and Leia.
Oh, hi. Thank you for having us today.
Hi, Matt. It's a pleasure to do a podcast with you finally.
It's also a pleasure to meet you guys. How are you?
I'm good. How about you, Leia?
I'm totally fine, Matt and Miss G. Thank you for having us in this video.
You're very, very welcome, Ms. Leia. So having you here today means that you have already witnessed and watched the Atom Aurelius special, Pieces ng Sikmura, right?
Mahilig sa aso si Tatay Ben. 12 ang kanyang mga alaga. Sa isang munting dampa sa Tondo, Maynila, halos tabi-tabi na silang naninirahan. Pero hindi lamang espasyo ang kanilang pinagsasaluhan.
You're right, Miss Jill. Watching that video makes me sad knowing that there are many people suffering from hunger. How can they survive that crisis? Because I know I wouldn't. They have to go through that hard situations, experience that they should experience, and do things that are not for them to do. As a Filipino, I can say that I'm lucky because I can still eat and I complete meal every day, except that I don't really have the appetite. On the other side, I will be happy if the food he's eating is safe and healthy. But no, pagpag is very unsafe, For those who don't know, pagpag is the process of cooking of waste foods from some eatery or restaurants. In simple terms, it's tira-tirang pagkain. It's disgusting, right? May sound like that, but that's life for people like Tatay Ben. Yeah, it's cliche that every hardship you went through will build you up. But what I can say is that every Filipino shouldn't experience this kind of hardship. Hunger is not a joke. Trying to think that I'm in his situation, it's unbearable. Think about it. He should be in his bed, resting if he wants to, eating healthy foods, and enjoying life as it is. But no, look how cruel world to Tatay Ben is. I'm very happy to know that after millions of people watch that video, someone sent their helping hand. I hope right now Tatay Ben is in a good situation, not having foods that should not be eaten.
Ang pagtangkilik kasi sa pagpag, posible ring maging mitya ng pagkalat ng COVID-19.
That's why I'm trying my best to succeed in life because aside from helping my family, I also want to send help to my kapwa Filipino. Even if I can't help them all, I believe that someone will also do the same as me. In this world full of crisis, I believe na walang ibang magtutulungan kundi tayo lang din, di ba?
That's a good talk, Matt. I agree that we Filipinos are the one who's going to help one another. We're very fortunate that we don't have to experience things like what Tatay Ben and Tatay Benjamin experienced.
You're right, Miss G. The only thing I can do as of the moment is to be empathetic. It's so sad that I can't do anything to help them in all possible ways. Another sad story is the Tatay Benjamin and Nanay Jocelyn's family who are fishing just with the use of their mosquito net or tinatawag na kulambo. They are just catching small shrimp and fish at the sapa. They don't have the chance to eat other food because just like that story of Tatay Ben, life become cruel to them too. After fishing, Nanay Jocelyn and Tatay Ben will have no time to rest because they still need to plant vegetable in their backyard.
Para makadagdag sa kanilang kakainin, nagtatanim sila ng gulay sa kanilang bakuran.
Nanay Jocelyn and Tatay Ben will have no time to rest because they still need to plant vegetables in their backyard. So, if there's no fish, the vegetables back them up. The pandemic worsened their situation. If before pandemic, life was already hard for them, it became harder for them when this virus spread all over the world. Imagine that 30 pieces of gurame and rice will be divided among 30 people. How is that even possible? It's not enough. There are times that their family will sleep without eating or having coffee as their meals for the whole day. It's so sad for them. I admit that even when pandemic strikes, I still experience eating 3 times a day. How lucky I am. But this doesn't make me happy or feel anything good because how can I feel good when there are people suffering from this situation? For Nanay Jocelyn's, it is very hard for her when there are times that she can't give what her children want. Ma, bili mo ako nito. We always say that to our parents. And that's what Nanay Jocelyn's children also say. However, she doesn't have the money to provide them with their wants. I may say that I am quite lucky to experience some good things in life, even if it's just a moment. I hope all of us can experience that moment.
I have already watched that video so many times, but after hearing it again with your opinions and reactions, all I can do is feel sad for what they have experienced. To you guys, as a dreamer who wants to change and help the world, what do you think is the most important takeaway from Tatay Ben and Tatay Benjamin's family story?
That's a very good question, Miss G. For me, Miss G, all of us must be thankful for what we have because not every people in this universe didn't have the chance to have these things around. We should be empathic in every situation, as life is not the same for all of us. Situations that will help every Filipino to survive are what we need. Tatay Ben's story tells us that we should be grateful for what we have and what is served at the table. It's regarding being a choosy person for a while.
Same with math. All of us should be thankful for every blessings that we receive. Tatay Benjamin's story tells us that having to eat a complete meal a day is too much to ask for. Wasting food should not be done, as many people are going through difficult ways just for them to having to eat. Life is not the same for all of us, so in every situation, let's show empathy and try to help others in need if you are capable to do so.
Very well said. Thank you so much to our first two guests for today who shared their heartwarming insights.
Thank you to you too.
Thank you for having us today. It's a wonderful opportunity for me.
Thank you.
It is very sad to know that this problem exists. Now, let's have our next guest who will be with us today, Mr. Axel Frias and Ian Kyle, for another heart-to-heart talk.
Hi, good day, Miss G. How are you?
I'm fine, Axel. Thank you for joining here with me.
We're the one who should be thankful. Nice meeting you, Miss G.
It was nice meeting you two guys. So, how's life lately?
As usual, doing our best to survive a day. For me, same with Axel.
So, that's great. Having you here with me means that You're already aware and watched the video of Atom Oral Special, Pieces ng Sigmura. Can we have a talk about it?
Well, Miss G, watching that video makes me cry and reflect at the same time. It is not good to know that while I am enjoying life as it is, there are many people suffering from hunger and poverty. This make me want to succeed in life as soon as possible for me to help them in my utmost capability.
Bumulusok ng 9.5% ang gross domestic product o GDP ng Pilipinas, isang sukat ng mga serbisyo at produktong nilikha sa bansa buong taon. Ito ang pinakamalubhang pagliit ng ekonomiya mula pa noong katapusan ng World War II at isa sa pinakamalubhang economic performance sa buong Asya. Ang resulta, milyon-milyong Pilipino ang nawalan o nabawasan ng trabaho.
Filipinos lost their job, which led to hunger. In Fairview, Quezon City, Mrs. Amy didn't expect that she would ask for money in the street from people and transportation passing by. In other terms, manlilimos. It is because the bar that she's working before is decided to close because of the pandemic. Manlimos is not easy for Amy, as she didn't do this kind of thing before. She saw herself as a low person who begged money in the street just for her to feed her family. Life before the pandemic is not that hard for Amy and his family. They still have some time to eat at the restaurant if there's an special occasion. But look where are they now.
Kwento ni Amy, kahit mahirap ang buhay nila noon, hindi naman sila nakararanas ng gutom. Minsan, nakakakain pang araw sila sa mga fast food restaurant kapag may espesyal na okasyon.
If it's hard to think for me right now, it is much harder for Amy. How could life not be the same for everyone? 1 kilo of fish and half kilo of rice for 8 people? How will it make them full? There are unexpected things that may happen in our lives, and this will make us to strive for more or pull us down. Now, I understand the feeling of those who ask for money in the street. How hard for them to get a job. So, they don't have any choice but to ask for money, even if this will make them feel low in their own eyes and in the minds of others.
Yes, that's the reality. There are many times that you have to do the things even if you're not used to it, or you don't have the plan to do that from the very beginning. But what else can we do? When poverty strikes, nothing is hard for us. All we have to think about is how to survive in the chaos.
I agree with you, Miss G. It's hard to do things if you are not used to it. However, we have no choice, right? There is thought of arte pa ba ako or lalamunin ako ng kahirapan? For those people living near the sea, life is also harder for them. Tatay Obito, who always went fishing alone just for him to feed his family, is a very tiring thing. There are times where he can catch any fish to eat that will result in a negative outcome. His family will not have something to eat. How sad to know that 3 little fish with malunggay and rice will feed for 10 people. Tatay Obito is trying his best, but he thinks that it's enough. He and his families are still suffering from poverty, and that made him question himself as a father. Here, we can see how far our parents can go in order for us, their children, to have something to eat and survive a day without having to beg for food. But for Tatay Obito, it seems like all the work that he does is not enough to feed 9 people in the household. Life is really not the same for everyone. Poverty can really pull you as down.
It seems that you guys are really invested in this kind of thing, but you are right. Life can be unfair sometimes. We can't be happy at the same time always. There are children suffering from poverty and hunger, which led them to become malnourished and stunted. Having to know that 3 out of 10 children are obese and 2 out of 10 are underweight, pandemic made this worse. Many died and got weak because of malnutrition.
It's really hard to think that young children are already suffering at their age. They should be enjoying life healthy, but look at them. I feel bad for them that they experience these things as a kid.
You're right, Axel. It's just a good thing that some organizations and teams help those in need. It just shows us that we Filipinos will not leave each other.
Yes, so how can we enjoy knowing that others are in hard situations? Thank you, Axel and Ian, for those heartwarming talks exchanges. It was nice having you here.
Thank you so much, Miss G, for giving us the chance to talk about this issue.
Thank you, Miss G. It was nice sharing what we feel in this way. Thank you.
It was such a nice talk with all our guests today about the Atom Aurelio Special Pieces ng Sigmura. With them, my mind and eyes became more open to what's really happening in our world. At this moment, we'll have Miss Nika Jin and Laika Ogari today to take a deep dive into the chilling reality of climate change with a powerful video from The Economist. See what 3 degrees of global warming looks like.
Hi, Miss G.
Hello, welcome guys. How are you?
We're good as always, Miss G. I hope you are too.
Seeing two beautiful ladies in front of me makes me good. So, as you know, you're both here because of the video that most of us watch. A video that is not just about numbers and statistics. It paints a vivid picture of our planet could look like if global temperature rise by 3 degrees Celsius. A scenario that scientists warn is increasingly likely if we don't act now.
3 degrees. It can be the difference between snow and sleet, wearing a jacket or not. In your day-to-day life, it may not seem significant, but 3 degrees of global warming would be catastrophic.
That's really a serious situation, honestly. Many places or specific countries are really affected by global warming. The potential increase of 3 degrees Celsius in global warming is extremely dangerous, especially since the 1.1 degrees Celsius to 1.3 degrees Celsius of global warming has already had a significant impact over various parts of the world.
In some parts of the world, the effects of inaction are already clear. The slums of Bangladesh's capital are filling up with climate migrants. Minara comes from Bola district, an area in southern Bangladesh. There, like many other parts of the country, rivers swollen by heavier rain and melting Himalayan glaciers are washing away people's homes. Many, like her, have lost everything.
Just like in Dhaka, Bangladesh, where extreme heat is being experienced, many more will die in global warming reaches in 3 degrees Celsius, since most of them live in rural places where they don't have enough knowledge and adaptation to climate change. This lack of awareness resources will make it even harder for them to cope with worsening conditions.
Another place severely affected by global warming is the small farm in La Palmilla, Guatemala, owned by Mr. Israel Ramirez Rivera.
Israel Ramirez Rivera is a smallholder in Guatemala. Here, climate change is making the dry seasons longer and more severe.
Digamos que esta es la mazorca más grande que pudo dar esta parcela.
He depends on his crops of corn and beans, but they're getting harder to grow.
Here, he mentioned the suffering in life that he and his family, as well as other residents there, are experiencing. He also said that the severe poverty and malnutrition among children are more difficult for them. Honestly, we can clearly see how devastating these happenings are. The issue of poverty and malnutrition is difficult to overcome, especially as we begin to experience extreme heat even though it hasn't yet reached 3 degrees Celsius. The importance of health, especially for children, should be prioritized.
That's really a serious situation for us to tackle. Extreme heat really can change every lives as what we have heard about them. But do we have any concerning situations in other places?
Yes, there is. If in the aforementioned places they are experiencing extreme heat, in the area of Togoro, Fiji, the continuous rise of water levels is what they are worried.
And in Fiji, rising waters are already upending lives.
You can see the graveyard, yeah? It's all underwater now due to this rising sea level and climate change.
According to Bernie Dunn, a village headman, even though the government tells them to relocate, they do not follow because they remember the remains of their deceased ancestor submerged in the water. But this is really dangerous because the rise of water levels will also lead to occurrence of storms and floods affecting many more countries.
Oh, so we can clearly say that these resources would greatly affect every individual, even if extreme heat, continuous rise of water level, and many more. But I have heard that there's a specific term for the concerning issue of extreme heat. Can we hear about it?
Mentioning the extreme heat, we have what is called the wet bulb temperature, which calculates our body's ability or capacity to endure heat and humid weather. The human body's capacity for heat is only 35 degrees Celsius. Therefore, exceeding the temperature beyond that capacity can be fatal to humans. Where it is truly concerning, since death is what it really means if the temperature exceeds in 35 degrees Celsius. I hope that it wouldn't happen for so long. It's really frightening just to hear about that. What more if we can really experience it for a long time?
So when global warming becomes too intense in a place, especially in rural areas, this is a high possibility that they will move to urban areas where it can be alleviate the extreme heat, such as air conditioning. Urban areas may also have better access to electricity and other sources, which can make life more bearable in the face of intense heat waves. But with the increasing number of migrants, the competition for fewer resources like water will continue to increase. Residents may face water shortage and create future challenges for both migrants and long-term residents.
Our perspective that we can alleviate and combat global warming is not the answer to a long-term solution. Mitigation will lessen these issues, and we have to continue doing it to preserve our nature and especially our own health. Adaptation to climate change, like air conditioning and diversifying agriculture, would be effective. But most effective way to prevent 3 degrees Celsius is to keep it fictional and never let it be reality.
Again, thank you so much, Ms. Nikki Jean and Laika Agario for the data.
Thank you, Ms. G.
After watching the Crisis ng Sigmura by Ato Maraolio, I felt a mixed emotion. Pero yung nangibabaw na feeling sa akin is yung awa ko sa mga tao na nag-feature din sa film. In that film, pinakita ni Atom yung harsh reality ng hunger dito sa Philippines, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. He visited places like Aramatondo, wherein yung mga tao doon, ang kinakain nila, or most people na nandun, ang kinakain nila is yung pagpag, yung tira-tirang pagkain from fast food chains like Jollibee and McDo. Sobrang nakakalungkot na may mga tao na, may mga Pilipino, may mga tao na kailangan nilang maghanap ng pagkain sa basura. In that video, na-highlight din kung paano mas pinahirap ng COVID-19 pandemic yung buhay ng mga Pilipino. Yung mga prices ng goods during that time talagang tumaas, tapos maraming mga Pilipino yung nawala ng trabaho. And maraming na-interview si Atom doon ng mga families to share their stories talaga kung paano nila na-survive yung COVID-19. And isa doon sa mga sobrang natouch ako na video doon. Yung kay Nanay Rosa. She's a mother na sobrang magtrabaho para sa mga anak niya. But she still find it difficult para mag-provide sa mga anak niya. So parang nahihirapan pa rin siya na mapakain sa araw-araw yung mga anak niya. At it makes me realize how lucky I am na araw-araw minakain ako and I have stable life. Na-highlight din doon sa video yung mga farmers at saka mga mangingisda na even them na nagpo-provide ng pagkain para sa atin, na nagpo-provide ng mga gulay, nagpo-provide ng mga isda para sa atin, ay nahihirapan din sa pang araw-araw na sila na nagpo-provide ng pagkain sa atin. Still find it difficult na ma-survive yung araw-araw. Bilang isang Pilipino, sobrang naaawa ako para sa kanila. So, it's so heartbreaking na merong mga Pilipino na nakakaranas ng ganon. In conclusion, it is an eye-opening for us Filipinos. Yung hunger, hindi lang siya about an empty stomach, pero it really affects children's health and education. So, it's an eye-opening for us na mas tumulong sa iba, mas maging grateful, mas maging matulungin sa iba na not all people are fortunate talaga. It's an eye-opening for us na tumulong sa mga programs ng government to help Filipinos that are struggling.
While the challenges facing our world are immense, we must not lose sight of the incredible resilience and ingenuity of the human spirit. Every day, people around the globe are working tirelessly to find solutions, build bridges, and create a better future. Let's continue to be inspired by their efforts and contribute to the positive change we all desire. I am so thankful for our guests who have shared their thoughts and insights. It's clear that crisis ng sikmura and global warming were more than just issues. They were a wake-up call for the nation. The world is facing a crisis, but it's not too late to act. This podcast is a call to action, a platform for sharing ideas, having meaningful conversations, and mobilizing individuals to create a better future. Welcome to the Life Puzzle, where we empower individuals to open up not just their mind, but also their heart.